Hey TYT, this is Nomi Konst. I'm going to do a quick video because we're about to go live in St. Louis. There's a lot happening on the ground there, but I wanted to talk before the night was over about the non-controversy that has erupted over the Women's March Conference, which is taking place at the end of October 27th through 29th, I believe, in Detroit. And full disclosure, I am a speaker. I'm going to be there covering it on behalf of TYT Politics, but also speaking on a panel. What happened was today there was the announcement, the press release went out for, introducing some of the speakers of the Women's March Conference, and I'm looking down on my computer. And of course, this is a conference that's been, they've been organizing this for a while. The founders are women in this movement that have been incredibly supportive of each other. They have a unity set of principles, the unity principles that they put out at the march in January, the day after the inauguration. And they've been able to build a coalition of all different types of ladies out there and men, because ultimately, if we want to move towards ending misogyny and counter Donald Trump's misogyny, the Republicans' war on women in all different ways, from economic all the way up to reproductive rights and inequality, you have to bring in allies. And that means you actually have to bring in men that are allies. So of the 60 speakers that were announced, one being Bernie Sanders, and there's another man. There's only two men. So 60 speakers plus are women. And of course, the real story here is that the theme of the conference is called Reclaiming My Time. And the opening speaker is Maxine Waters, Representative Maxine Waters. So there was immediate pushback from, surprise, Neera Tanden from the Center for American Progress, Joy Reid from MSNBC, you had Peter Dow out there, and a couple of other, prominent Hillary Clinton surrogates who worked for Hillary Clinton. Now, what they didn't mention is that there are a lot of Hillary Clinton supporters that are on these panels that are coming together. What they're not mentioning is that, this is an issue. We're going to be talking about unity principles, things that bring us all together so we can move forward in this revolution, because it's too important that we come together. The reason why I want to do this video right now really has to do with one institution that's pushed back, and that's the president of Emily's List. Emily's List is an organization that's been around for 30 plus years to support female candidates, financially in particular, and the caveat is they must be pro-choice. Now, Emily's List has come under a lot of criticism over the past few years, especially behind the scenes, but you may recall last year Lucy Flores lost her endorsement of Emily's List. Well, they've come under criticism for mainly supporting female candidates who, for the most part, can contribute some sort of funds or are a great financial investment for them. And then they profile, and support, but don't give the resources to other women out there who, people of color, women of color, and other allies. And in the past, they've also endorsed men, and they've given money to men who are candidates, despite the fact that they say that they haven't done so. You can see it in their FEC filing. So Stephanie Shriak, who's the president of Emily's List, went out and said that she was disappointed and was pushing back on the Women's March for what she thinks was giving the headline speech to Bernie Sanders. Not true. He is not the opening speech to Bernie Sanders. I'm going to go on Twitter and pull it up right now. This is deeply disappointing. It's disappointing because she said she could help out. We could help out with this, meaning Emily's List. And that seems a little bit like they're trying to co-opt the Women's March. But it also seems like she's erasing all of the women out there who are coming forward and supporting the Women's March, who are going to be at the Women's March, who are speaking at the Women's March, and more importantly, the 4 women, plus the allies and those who've signed the unity principles, who are organizing the Women's March. We have, Tamika Mallory, Linda Sarsour, Carmen Perez, Bob Bland, Winnie Wong. I'm going through my tweets right now because it was so shocking to me that the president of Emily's List would criticize the organizers of the Women's March, number one, only for having Bernie come and speak. Now, let's not make this about 2016 all over again, but he's an ally. Gloria Steinem praised him years ago. This is somebody who stands for economic issues and women's right to choose and has, great ratings on all these issues. But in particular, I think one thing that we've erased from this is that when you do support these economic issues, you're actually supporting women and women of color in particular. $15 minimum wage, who does that affect the most? That helps women and mothers the most. When you want to end mass incarceration, who does that help the most? That helps the women with the burden of keeping their communities together, because 1 out of 3 black men is sent to prison. Prison industrial complex has hurt women and children the most. I mean, this is shocking to me that they're unwilling to support an ally in the movement. We have to have allies. And more importantly, it's not that he's co-opting the march by speaking. There are plenty of speakers. What I think is amazing is that all of these speakers, including Bernie Sanders, are willing to use their megaphones to amplify the mission and the purpose of feminism, to amplify the unity principles, to amplify the voices of the women in the room, to bring attention, to these issues of equality and economic justice. And, this is, you can't have a movement with 8 people in a corner. And we can't be dividing each other up like this. If Stephanie Shriak wants to help out, contribute, but don't attack the speakers and the organizers. That's just not helpful. And the reason why I bring this up mainly is because I have given money to Emily's List. I've raised money for candidates that Emily's List has supported. And I know that there's so many brothers and sisters out there who have done the same. And it's deeply disappointing to see that. So I really hope that she can read into the story a little bit more, because Maxine Waters is the person opening the Women's March Summit at the end of October in Detroit. Excuse me, I have a cold. It's just incredibly disappointing, and I hope that she'll be enlightened and she'll realize that she's making a mistake as somebody who's the head of an organization that has such institutional power. People look at Emily's List, Democrats, women, look at Emily's List as an organization that's to help other ladies get elected, pro-choice ladies get elected. And for her to use her megaphone and her power to attack the Women's March, I just don't think that's fair, and I hope that she can retract what she's saying, and I hope that the others who misreported and misrepresented what was happening can do the same. Anyways, if you don't have your tickets already, they're online. I'm going to be speaking there on behalf of TYT Politics and TYT, and I will be reporting as well. So if you can't make it, you'll be able to watch it on TYT Politics. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great night, and I'll see you soon.